I used to be 30% body fat. I was tired all the time, avoided mirrors, and to be honest, I hated how I looked. And I genuinely thought that's just how it's going to be forever. But all of that changed once I implemented 10 habits that got me where I am today. 12% body fat, and I have never felt better. And in this video, I'm going to share with you those 10 habits so that you can implement them and do exactly what I did, change your life and your body forever. The first and probably the most simple habit that I implemented is walking anywhere that took me less than 20 minutes to get to. We all know you should aim for 10,000 steps a day, but when you're first starting out, that can seem daunting. But this habit makes it easy. Whenever I go anywhere, if it takes less than 20 minutes, whether that be to the gym, to the supermarket, or to my grandma's house, I'm walking. And when you implement this habit, the steps add up really quickly. In today's world, it's so easy to get around. There's public transport everywhere, and you can literally order a personal driver through a computer in your hand, so it's easy to get complacent. But you have to start moving more if you want to lose fat. The second habit I implemented was a restricted eating window, and no, that doesn't mean that I fast to 5 p.m. every day or only eat one meal a day. A restricted eating window is essentially having an 8 to 10 hour window every single day where you're going to consume all of your calories. It's basically intermittent fasting, but without the weird cultiness. This created a structure because before I implemented this, I was basically eating from the second I woke up to the second I went to sleep. And most of the time, I wasn't even eating because I was hungry. It was because I was bored or stressed. The thing is, when you eat all day, it's so much harder to stay within your calorie deficit. Most people are awake for 16 hours a day. So that's 16 hours where you can eat over your deficit, and that's a problem. So a restricted eating window provides structure and limits your ability to overeat. Personally, my window is 11 a.m. to 7 p.m, but sometimes I extend that to 9 p.m, for example, if I'm going out for dinner. For most people, I recommend you just start with a 10-hour eating window, so something like 11 a.m. to 9 p.m, and then slowly taper that down to 8 hours. It makes it so much easier to stick to your deficit, so make sure you implement this. The third and likely the most low effort habit I implemented was switching to lower calorie alternatives. I didn't cut anything from my diet, I just made simple switches. Full fat mayo to light mayo, Coke to Coke Zero, full fat cheese to low fat cheese, full fat yogurt to low fat yogurt, you get the picture. This may sound like something small, but by doing that, you're gonna save thousands of calories per week, and that's the difference between losing fat and not losing fat. I still eat burgers, I still eat ice cream, and I still eat the foods I enjoy, but the calories are just way lower. This habit works so well because it makes you feel like you aren't on a diet, and fat loss doesn't come from weird diets or starving yourself. It comes from finding a diet that suits you and that you can adhere to for a long time. So make some simple switches and it will make all the difference. The fourth habit I implemented is eating protein with every single meal. My breakfast, lunch, and dinner are all built around a quality source of protein, and for good reason. Protein keeps you fuller for longer, but more importantly, your body burns more calories digesting it than carbs and fat, and it ensures you retain and even build muscle mass whilst in a calorie deficit. Most people massively undereat protein, and that's why so many people end up skinny fat post their diet. Since the day I implemented this, I make sure that every single day I eat 1 gram of protein per pound of my desired body weight, and you should do the same. Utilize chicken, beef, fish, eggs, protein powder, and Greek yogurt. Those should be the staple of your diet if your goal is to lose fat and build muscle. Seriously, protein is the most important thing. Without it, nothing else matters, so make sure you're getting enough. Habit number 5 is weighing myself every single day. But why? Well, to get an accurate reading of your weight, you need the weekly average. Your body weight fluctuates every day depending on what you eat, how hydrated you are, the sodium in your system, whether or not you've been to the toilet, and countless other reasons. So if you only weigh yourself, say once a week, you're not going to get an accurate reading of your weight, and that's going to cause serious problems. Not only will it mess with your head, but it also means you won't be able to adjust your plan where needed, and that's going to make you lose fat way slower. I used to weigh myself weekly, and I had those exact issues, so here's the fix. Weigh yourself every day at the same time. Then at the end of the week, work out your average body weight for that week. That is your true body weight. When you do this, you will have the data to make the necessary adjustments to your plan. But not only that, you also make fat loss a predictable science rather than an emotional drain. So don't run from the scale. Learn to use it as the tool that it is. Habit number 6 is something that not many people think about, but it makes a massive difference, and it's cutting out liquid calories. Back when I was struggling to lose fat, I thought I was in a deficit until one day I sat down and I realized I was drinking thousands of calories per week. From fruit juice to smoothies to full fat soft drinks and lattes, it all adds up quickly. The thing about liquid calories is that they are empty calories. They don't give you anything apart from a burst of sugar. That's why I cut them out. They don't fill you up, they don't help you adhere to your diet, and they don't provide you with any protein. Trust me, getting rid of empty calories like that is the biggest and easiest win you're going to have, and it's going to make fat loss way quicker and way easier. Habit number 7 is also to do with liquids, and it's cutting back on alcohol. Let's be real for a second. Not only does alcohol contain a ridiculous amount of calories, but it also messes up everything else. It ruins your sleep and your recovery, which affects your body's ability to burn fat and build muscle. It completely destroys any motivation you have. Are you going to go to the gym when you're lying in bed with a raging hangover? Unlikely. Not only that, but it also makes you crave shitty food, which can be a disaster for your fat loss goals if you drink regularly. Look, am I saying never drink again? No. But you need to realize that alcohol brings nothing good to your life. Personally, I drink on special occasions around 4 times a year, and that's it. You can still go out and enjoy drinks with your friends, but don't let it derail your goals or your life. You will feel better, look better, and actually enjoy your life more with less alcohol in it, so cut back. Habit number 8 is something that helps me with diet adherence massively, and it's saving calories up for days that I go out. Instead of trying to eat perfect every single day, I plan for real life. Let's say I know I'm going out to eat with friends on a Friday. Monday to Thursday, I will eat 300 calories under my calorie target. That way I have 1,200 calories in the bank on Friday. That way when I go out, I can just enjoy myself without feeling guilty or having to get a calculator out to work out how many calories I have eaten. So I stay in a deficit, I still lose fat, and I get to enjoy myself. You don't have to cancel your social life in order to lose fat. You just need to plan ahead and be smart about what you're doing. The 9th habit sounds super simple, but it's something that most people don't do, and it's buying healthier snacks. When I was 248 pounds, my kitchen was full of shit: crisps, biscuits, chocolates, full fat drinks, milkshakes, and I would eat thousands of calories without even thinking about it, just because it was there. So I simply stopped buying the snacks that were making me fat. Instead, I bought protein bars, Greek yogurt, beef jerky, chocolate covered rice cakes. That way, instead of relying on pure willpower, I was still snacking. It just meant I was snacking on stuff that wasn't making me fat anymore. Seriously, it sounds simple, but stock your kitchen with snacks that are going to propel you to your goal, not ones that are going to take you away from it. The 10th and final habit is the one that got me where I am today, and it's not quitting after having one bad day. I used to fall for the all or nothing trap all the time, where I'd have one bad meal or one bad day and I'd throw the entire week away. But now when I mess up, I acknowledge it and I move on, because fat loss is not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. One bad day isn't going to ruin your progress, but quitting will. If you have 6 good days and one bad day, you still make progress. But if you just quit, you make no progress. So stop waiting for the perfect week and just focus on having good days. That is how you're going to get the result you want. So there you have it. Those 10 habits took me from 30% body fat to 12% body fat. And if you implement them, I guarantee you will get a similar result. If you need some help implementing these, or if you want to work one-on-one with me, you can click the link in the description, book a call with me, and we'll talk about how we can work together to get you in the best shape you've ever been in. Other than that, if this video helped, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.